Hey guys and gals, I got another one for you today. Today we're in the 45B, and this tank line is very similar to the other heavy tanks on the German line. And unfortunately, I haven't really been able to put together 3 games for you guys, but I will do my best. Now, one of the tank lines that's different as far as this goes, obviously the E75 is a little bit different with the Tiger 2 and the Tiger 1, but if you go through the Tiger P, you can get all of these plus the Jaegeru, which a lot of people don't like the Tiger P, which I talked about, but I don't mind it. I think it's usable. The tier 8 on this line, however, the 45A, is kind of like a Heavium, and it's an interesting tank. They buffed the armor on the hull, and I played it without that, and I thought it was a fun tank to play. I feel like I generally like tanks that most others don't, but that was kind of like one of the tanks that I really enjoyed for whatever reason. It was kind of like it's a corner fighter, so doesn't really have frontal armor that you can totally rely on, but it does get some good bounces. The gun is good, like most German guns. So that to me was a highlight of the line. This tank was a love-hate relationship. At first, I wanted to like it because I struggled to fight it. But then once I got it, I realized that there's weak points that are pretty glaring, and now I do not struggle at all or much to kill these things. Now, a wiggling 45B is generally going to be a tough pen unless you get the prem rounds in. And once again, just to make sure I'm consistent, I took my 45B up into the medium location because why not take heavy tanks where mediums are supposed to be? Now the reason I'm doing that is because my 75% cruise, I just am, for lack of a better term, I'm a puss. I want to try to stay alive and get decent stats to try to make it competitive, but really that seems to work against me because this is not where heavy tanks are supposed to be. Even with 75% cruise, it's just not really what they should be doing. Arguably this isn't the worst position compared to where the Reds are, but I feel like I should be in the lower ground, especially since I'm not landing my shots. Now if I was landing those shots and dispatching the FB215B and the Death Star, then it'd be a different story. However, I am not doing that, and my team is starting to melt because I'm just wasting time up here. So we go dark there, we get a shot in the side from the Type 5 Heavy, and we turn our head, and the FE215B and the Leopard take us down. Speed it up. I was kind of frustrated with Artie there. I don't know why he couldn't shoot the stuff on the one line. My guess is he's trying to shoot into the alleyway on H2, H3, but really those guys can't progress forward very well. So me lighting up the H1, I felt like this guy could have just taken him to Pound Town. It is what it is. Another German failure by my part. This tank leads into one of my favorite tier 10 heavy tanks, the Panzer 7. Thing has great gun handling, has more than usable armor, good armor. It does have some weak points, so you want to make sure that you wiggle in it. Mobility is probably the best out of all the German heavies, but by no means is it like a race car. So what have we learned so far about the German Tier 9 heavy tanks? Well, with cruise, they are fun. With 75% cruise, they are not the greatest. However, I also really didn't get great map selections, nor did I really take them to the correct location. So it probably wasn't a fair shake on their part, but I was just trying to do what I thought I needed to with the 75% crew. And though I probably messed that up, at least we got some competitive gameplay on other Tier 9 heavy tanks. I'm not going to spoil this one. That game was not phenomenal by any means, but we may have one in store. So I didn't fail all 9 German heavy games, I don't feel like. Little note, the Panzer IV-H Tier 5 medium German tank is the first tank that I actually 3-marked, and I didn't use the derp gun. I love the smaller gun on that tank. It is very competitive in my opinion. Really enjoyed that. The VK3001P is a very fun tank as well. The Tiger P tier for tier is kind of like a downgrade of that. But like I said, the 45A is a highlight. The 45B, it depends who you're playing against. 1,000 damage here. Oh, whatever. You guys can look at it. Otherwise, I'll get to the totals after this game. So we're on Ghost Town. This is a great heavy map. So hopefully we can utilize the 45B here. T28 Pro is taking a poop or something, so he's not going to move forward. Just nudge him out of my way. Yeah, this 45B depends on who you're playing against. If playing against a good player, generally they don't care what you're doing. They're going to pen you reliably. Now, side scraping isn't the greatest in this because it kind of exposes the sides of your turret. Your sides of your tank aren't phenomenal. So at like high angles, side scraping is good in this tank, but it's not like a 705 or motion, or even to me E75. I'd rather side scraping an E75 than a 45B, just because your mobility is a little bit worse too. So if they decide to just come around the corner after you fire, it's hard to get your tank in position. Now, if you have a decked out crew, it's not going to be that much of a problem, but definitely running like 75%, this thing is just a tortoise. Alright, so we get a shot into the Kurvitz 1. Working with a Patton here. He gets lit on fire. We go for a ram, and we only do 35 damage. We try to get a shot into the shoulder plate, and my T-54 takes him down. Now in this map, I love to push this location. Got a Death Star here. Come around the corner to get a shot into his side, and he lights me on fire. That's unfortunate. So the best map out of all the German heavy tanks, and I throw it in the trash. Disappointing. I was a little over aggressive there. It's funny, I finally get a heavy map and I overplay it. However, red team has not moved out of their positions. They pretty much took, what would you say, 1/6 of the map. And generally when you only take 1/6 of the map, it's just a matter of time before you're dead. And our team is making a great job on rotating around on the 1, 2, 3 line behind their team one at a time, collapsing their team. And really on this map, to me, it's probably the most important map to have movement and rotation, obviously along with gameplay, or I mean teamwork, and when done correctly, you can dispatch the enemy team fairly quickly, as seen here. And then since they started to send some more up to the northern part to try to help defend, and that just collapsed the south and allowed our team to push the south through too on top of them. So already we're only, what, 4 minutes in, and the game's almost over. Let's see if we can kill them all before the 5-minute mark. Getting close. He's hanging on. Nope, he didn't make it. So less than 5 minutes, my team dispatched the Reds. And kind of, I took the Death Star shell and that ended up getting him killed. Not to say that's important, but 2,000 damage so far, 1,000 assists, 600 blocked, which isn't great. 1,232 XP earned, so not terrible. I wish I could get my gun more in the game, maybe block a little bit more. I had a lot of opportunity there, and I threw it away with one shell from the Death Star. So, for Zainai, not a huge heavy game, but also I'd rather take this map over other open field maps just because the terrain gives you cover for from arty shells, and it has like corridor fights for heavy tanks or armored tank destroyers. Now you see I was heading north, and that's just my normal positioning, but I then realized that I'm in a heavy tank and I need to stick together with not only my heavies but go to where the heavies need to go to fight. Now if you're a mobile heavy tank, maybe a hull down heavy tank, you can make the north work, but to me, if you go north, you want to keep vision up and you want to keep pushing, depending on how many tanks they send. Obviously, if they send their whole team over there and you have 2 tanks like we do, you're not going to push that out. But it is important to get vision out, especially when arty's on the map, because a lot of people love to sit in like the A line, and if you can light them up, arty can snack on them guys. But we are not a medium tank with good vision, and we didn't go up to the north, so we're going to head down here and make a fight of it in the castle. Now it seems like my heavies have all stopped to shoot at the scouts, and when you're on a big open map in a heavy tank, stopping to shoot at a scout in a field where there's artillery is probably not your best bet. Just my opinion. Generally, the scout can't put out that much damage, so driving into position is still important, and hopefully your scout or medium tanks will go take care of him. And that's what ours tries to do. However, the 1390 takes down our T-71 CMCD. Come over here, bounce a shell, get a shot into that 50 hundo. I know, this is definitely an alley that an arty can shoot down on this map, so you have to be careful. I'm trying to use this piece of rubble to my left to try to shield, make it awkward for arty. It just really depends on his luck and his, and if you can say skill. I definitely do think there's arty players that are much more skilled than other arty players. So we're going to take a little risk. We're going to use this little undulation to try to hide our hull. And I don't really want to push in there with a 5100, even though he might be reloading. I knew there's more tanks to my right, so I'd pretty much be nullifying my frontal armor, and I'll be driving into a crossfire, which the 45B cannot handle, especially with its slow reload. And we realize that there's a heavy tank coming around the bottom, so we're going to try to take care of him. Give a nice shot into that paladin. And the 45B has good frontal armor, so especially at high tier, you can just bully people. I back up, he follows me into the trap. My arty gives me a little assist, and then I'm able to shut him down. So now we're going to get turned around. You see our heavy tanks are really not positioned well, not to mention their scout is still alive in the south, and that is going to really cause problems for our team because he can just be patient, poke up, and get shots into their back when he wants. All right, so there's a Scorp G right there. We're able to get a shot into him. And I want to switch to HE, but if that 50 hundo comes down, I want to be able to lock shots into him as well. And now I've kind of lost my awareness to what my team was doing, and unfortunately for me, they all have pretty much died. So I'm going to try to give this guy cover fire, but I also don't want to overexpose my tank here. Somehow I missed a shot into the Tiger 1. And now they're starting to push on me. I'm the only one left over here, so I'm hoping Artie's still with me. Now I'm getting shot up the butt from a tank that I can't see. So if I come around this corner, maybe I will be able to hide my butt from him. Get a shot into the Borsig. And this is where the DPM of this thing is going to be sad. Alright, so Artie slams the Borsig. Looking for a shot on that Conqueror, but the Scorpion's trying to flank me. Leave him on a sliver, and now I might be tipped up too high. Going for the ram, and I miss it, just because this thing is not fast enough. However, thinking about it, if I didn't have a 75% crew, rather having a better crew than that, then I would have been okay. However, we are still alive, we are ammo racked, and the Jig Tig is what's shooting me. He's now spotted in E6. I am hoping to get one more shell out before the end here. And my turret turned for this Tiger P, and the Conqueror shuts me down. So unfortunately, I'm unable to pull that down. Their scouts really just delayed our heavies, and we didn't get into our positions that we needed to be in. Now going around to see what's left on our team, we have a mutant humping a rock, making a bog or rock baby, and then we have a sushi. I'm not sure what the sushi was doing. Probably long range sniping, which is fine. Now, Boghor is spotted. He continually tries to make a little tank baby with this rock. And even as he's taking shots in the side and the back, he doesn't give up. And finally they set him on fire and take him down. So our last hope is a sushi. Well, it's nothing to do with that Yag Tiger. So it comes over here. And there's a J-Pan too. Takes a shot from the J-Pan too. He auto-locks a shot into the hull. And the Yag Tiger takes him down anyways. So let's get to end game stats there. 3,500 damage, 500 assists, 4,500 block, 3 kills. To me, that is a good game, especially with a 75% crew. Unfortunately, we weren't able to really push the front line, but we did show like the defensibility of this tank, totaling 5,500 damage, 1,500 assists, up to 5,000 blocked. Man, had we had a couple of better games in there, this thing probably would have been respectable. About 1,900 XP earned. 45B, mixed bag. That's really all I got for you. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.